generally when you have a security summit and you invite anybody still in service, they are constrained by what they can say. The truth is that there is a problem, of manpower, but it's in a different way. For example, let me give you an example. We say we have 370,000 police officers. The security summit by the House done a few years back, one of the recommendations was that the police should commence a program of civilianization of the police, as it is done all over the world. What do I mean? I went to visit a DIG, some months back, and he offered me, what do you want to eat? I said, pounded yam. The next thing is Sergeant Lewis. He said, yes, sir, do pounded yam for my guest. His chef was a police officer. Now, couldn't that be done by a civilian? So the point I'm making here is the civilization of, by the way, the military have the same problem too. All over, if you go to Metropolitan Police headquarters in London, about 25% of their staff are not police officers. Work that can be done by people who are not police officers should be done by them. So our trained officers can be at the forefront. But they are chefs, they are drivers, they are cooks, they are washermen. So giving them more power, more manpower is not the solution if they are not properly utilized.
But you have lived and you understand the UK system, for example. What do you think that we have here what do you think they have there that is working that we do not have here?
Okay. Number one thing is that if you ask me this question in 1974, it would be an easier question to answer. Because by around that 1974, we had the Nigerian police force that was doing the A to Z of what it's supposed to do. After the coup, or the Muritala coup, that was the beginning of the cannibalization of Nigerian police. The military government then blamed the police for not finding out the intelligence about the coup. So what did they do? They excised what they call the special branch of the police out of the police, and that later formed what they call the NSO, what that's today's SSS, was carved out of the police. Since then, several other agencies have been carved out of the police. So when you're talking about the police right now, they have the thankless job of dealing with core criminality. They don't have the resources to do it, and all the other things, all the other things that police do in other countries are being done by other agencies in this country. So that is the issue of overlapping mandates of different security agencies. They compete rather than cooperate. And more importantly, there is no legal framework in this country that compels any security agencies to share intelligence. I know the NSA is the coordinator of national intelligence, and best practice say they do it, but I've been in meetings where, I'm not going to say which one, and the agency said, we're not sharing that with the police, we don't trust them. So the issue here is that these people are competing rather than cooperating among themselves. So one of the easiest things the president can do, for example, is to give out an executive order, making it a punishable act if an intelligence is not shared. Right now, if you don't share an intelligence, you've not committed any crime.
Well, in the United States, there is a Department of Homeland Security. And from the point you enter to the country, the intelligence about persons of interest circulates around most security agencies. Can we adopt that kind of technique?
Yeah, of course we can. See, the situation here is this. Take United States, a very good example. United States have about 18,000 police departments, because everybody has police departments all over the US. But what happened when the Homeland Security Department was created was that a standardized storage format was created for all police forces in the US, such that then a batch program was created, whereby around midnight every night, the Department of Homeland Security harvests data from every police department in the country as a central hub. So if you commit a crime in Texas, in 24 hours, they will know in Washington that you committed a crime. We don't have that here in Nigeria. This is what I'm trying to say. Fragmentation and the competition means there is no visibility. The truth, the truth is the fact that you can come out of prison in Sokoto tomorrow and go and join the Nigerian police in Lagos day after. They have no way of knowing unless you declare it yourself, because there's no central database, of these things. For example, as you enter prison, your fingerprints and data are taken. That's supposed to be sent to the police fingerprint department. Sometimes for 6 months, 8 months, police don't get anything from the prisons. Look, we have problems. Fragmentation is a major problem. The left hand is not talking to the right hand, And we have so many. I mean, look, we are talking of in England. If you are a civil servant and you steal, they call the police. Here we have ICPC, we have all kinds of, we've just cannibalized the whole system. And this is what makes the whole thing worse. This is it. There was a case in Kogi when the civil defense sued the police. They said the police was encroaching on their turf. The Court of Appeal, when they decided that case, said the Establishment Act for Civil Defense did not remove those powers from the police. Police still have the power to, let's tell all of them, for drug crime, and NDLEA, police still have power to over that. Road safety, police still have power over that. EFCC, police still have the Financial Crimes Unit. So every of these cannibals that have been created out of the police still left the police with those powers. So the question now is, people now cherry pick who to call when they have a problem. Who do you have influence over? So we need to really do a comprehensive security sector reform in this country, whereby there's a bit more of harmonization, so that if one agency has, okay, you are talking about...
So you agree with Governor Lawal to say restructuring is one thing that we need to...
Okay, you had mentioned private security firms earlier.
Honorable was fine, yeah.
Do you know the private security firms in this country? Who do you think controls and manages them? Civil defense, not the police. Police have they are regulated by civil defense. So if police needs information about private security, they have to go to civil defense to get it. Why are we fragmenting things? That is a problem. So we need, instead of dancing around all these issues we are doing, we are doing that, because if we don't think differently, we will continue this cycle of insecurity.
All right.